SpongeBob, did you get those bathrooms mopped yet?
Yes, ma'am. I mean, sir. I mean, boss. I mean, Poobah.
Go!
In the latest Splatoon Direct, they basically implied one of the new idols is non-binary. In this Direct, at no point are pronouns used for Shiver. Big Man and then Fry, they do use terminology that's gendered, but for Shiver, for whatever reason, Nintendo is actively avoiding using any kind of gendered language towards Shiver. So that is what has spawned this whole situation in the community. It's also the fact that Shiver's character design looks very like in the middle as far as like presentation of gender goes, and you can probably imagine that that's caused I guess you'd say like a rift within the community. Like it's been wild, man. I've been on Twitter and Reddit, which I really shouldn't be on either of those sites because of all the toxicity. I really need to just stop wasting my time with that nonsense. But when I watched the Direct, I actually didn't even catch that they didn't use pronouns for Shiver. So my old title for the video I just uploaded a few days ago, which is doing pretty well, by the way, and I'm thankful to you guys. But yeah, Twitter and Reddit, like the Splatoon subreddit, are an absolute mess at the moment. No pun intended. Yeah, pretty much what I've seen as far as like the community fighting or whatever, you've got the people in the comment section who are like, there's only two genders, which is like, if that's your belief, you know, that's your belief. That's not really something that anyone can do anything about. I mean, that's true for any opinion online. You can't really force people to think a certain way, much as people seem to think you can. The two main sort of like vocal minority, like the loudest voices I've seen, someone will comment like, oh, there's only two genders. This is Nintendo trying to be woke. That's what it's called nowadays. I don't want to get too into like the politics of it. I hate calling it that, but I mean that's kind of what it's being treated like within the community. People, it's like there's only two genders, which is like whatever. Then you have the other side of it that's like people who are super offended that anyone would say such a thing, which, you know, you have every right to be offended by that. That's a rude comment to make. I've noticed like a lot of like passive aggressiveness with these responses. It's not really anything like constructive. It's just kind of like people, you know, just kind of yelling at each other, like having shouting matches online. It's not really constructive, which, as I've said, it's the internet, and there's not really a whole lot of constructive discussions like that going online, regardless of what it's about. Forums online are filled with this stuff, like the subreddit. Pretty much every other post is like about this topic, and it's just wild, man. You wouldn't really think that with Splatoon 3 coming out, like this would be sort of the focal point of like the discussions, but it's where we're at right now. I don't know if I agree with either side that's like in the parts of the community that are like fighting. Like I think it's really cool that there is a non-binary character in this game. Like I think that's dope. Nintendo hasn't officially said like, yo, you know, this character is 100% non-binary, but it's like it's basically implied. The one part of this though that I don't really think a lot of people are considering is that they're a corporation at the end of the day. You know, and a good example to compare this to is like Pride Month. You know, all these companies, they change their logo to have a rainbow, and like how Walmart will sell Pride merchandise, like t-shirts that say like Happy Pride and whatnot. I don't think that those companies do that because they care. I think it's because they want people's money. Since Nintendo hasn't full on said like this character's non-binary, there's lots of people, like I thought Shiver was female. I honestly did. I didn't realize, because the way they did it was very subtle, obviously, because there's so many people who just didn't even notice. I'm wondering if Nintendo is going to like straight up drop like a thing on Twitter or something that says this character is non-binary. Like that's what I'm kind of waiting for. And if they do that, I think that's awesome, because I know there's a lot of members of the Splatoon community who happen to be non-binary. So it would be kind of cool, you know, one of the idols actually you can relate with that identity, have a character the game you play actually feeling like, you know, this character represents yourself. That's awesome. It's a good thing. I don't want that to be like the message for my video to be like that I'm upset that this is like, I've just noticed the fighting that's been going on. I think it's a wild situation, and I'm wanting to document this in a video because, you know, 10 years from now or whatever, maybe someone will watch this and they'll be like, oh man, that was wild. That was the hot topic within the Splatoon community at one point. Either way though, what do you guys think? I know this is a super controversial topic, obviously. Try to keep the comments civil, I guess. Don't get too wild in there. You think it's crazy? Also, did you not even know about this until you saw this video. Like, I didn't even know that, kind of repeating myself, but I didn't even realize that Shiver was supposed to be non-binary until I've heard people talking about it. And I rewatched the direct. I guess like a fun fact, it's like some number, it's like 57 languages or something like that of the direct. They do not use the female pronouns. It's like not just the English, it's the English, Japanese. It's like a bunch of the translations for it. It's deliberate. Like, it wasn't an accident, because if it was just the English, you could say, oh well, they just happened to not pronoun Shiver. Like, I guess they just forgot to or something. Wild stuff. Hate to see the community like fighting about this, but you know, it's the internet. People are gonna fight about basically anything. So if you've ever seen the Sonic community in particular, man, they literally argue about the color of his arms. Like, it's wild. I'll see you dudes later. Peace out.